Welcome to Orbitals, an astrology podcast. I'm your host, William Holloway, and today's show is all about Uranus and Gemini. With me to discuss and dissect is my good friend and astrologer, Ellie Burck of Saturn Season Astrology. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me to talk about this.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so Uranus and Gemini. Uranus just went into Gemini April 25th of this year. And Uranus spends about 7 years in each sign. So I thought we would talk a little bit, just briefly, about the history of the discovery of Uranus, just for context. Talk about previous Uranus and Gemini moments, the current astrology, and what we think might be coming for our future.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so first off, Uranus was discovered March 13th, 1781 by British astronomer William Herschel, marking the first planet identified with a telescope and the first planet found since the ancient times. While surveying the stars, Herschel identified the object as a moving body, initially mistaken for a comet.
And this would have been when Uranus was in Gemini.
Yes, that's the other thing. It was in Gemini when it was discovered, so that's important to note. Thank you. Yeah. And another thing I think is always funny is that initially he wanted to name it George or George's star, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's such like basic name, and Uranus is anything but a basic planet.
anything but basic, right?
No offense,
George.
Georges. No offense. It's a great name, but it's just very regular. And Uranus is not that.
Not that. And I know it was in honor of King George, but
Yeah.
King George the Third. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't go with that. And I do feel like if we had it, George would operate a little differently. Yeah. But anyway, that's for alternate timelines that we don't know about. But all right.
I want to refer to it now, though, as George.
As George. Yeah. Or Uranus, aka George.
Yeah. Be like,
Yeah.
George got his bullshit.
George is bullshit. George is going to be pretty wild the next 7 years. Why don't we talk about, just off the bat, Uranus significations and things that are signified and ruled by Uranus? What are the first things that come to mind when you think of Uranus, aka George?
Revolution comes to mind. Liberation. Detachment can definitely be a Uranian thing, a Uranian quality, Uranian
Yeah.
chaos. Genius. It's like it's the higher octave of Mercury. So it's very heady, but it's heady in a more far out way.
Yeah.
Freedom is another one.
Freedom. Yeah, totally. All of that.
As a first house Uranus person, I'm very familiar. It's very in my face.
Yeah.
But if it's conjunct your descendant, it's going to be a little bit more part of the shadow, but not like the psychological shadow, but just not as seen, because planets tend to just function that way. So I wonder if that also for you personally anyway, but
Yeah. And it shows up in my relationships, of course, but it's a normal, right? The Uranus energy in my life and with the relationships and the different types of people that I've had throughout. I could write a book about all the relationships and wild people I've known over the years, but it's so normal, right? So I guess it does make sense that it eludes me because it's just like part of my life.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I gathered a list. I went through many different texts. And so here's a huge list. All right. So are we ready for some of the things you already said already? But I was just like, I just want to kind of list this off. All right. So individuation, liberation, freedom, deconditioning, awakening, rebirth, breakthroughs, experimentation, rebellion, innovation, originality, restlessness. That's one too. I think that's really big. Restlessness, shocking sudden change, like you said, lightning, accidents, acceleration, agitators, air, things in the air. There is something Uranian about air.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And also, I want to say, before I finish going through this list, is that there really is there's a lot of tie-ins between Gemini significations and Uranus significations.
Yes, there are. I think a lot of this does have to do with the fact that Mercury's the lower octave of Uranus. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. I think that's where that perhaps comes in, but you're absolutely right. I've noticed that too over
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, accidents, acceleration, agitators, airplanes, airships, alarms, aliens,
Yeah, weird shit.
weird shit. Anarchy,
Uh-huh.
astrology fits into a couple, but Uranus is
Absolutely.
definitely one of them. Yeah.
Fragmentation.
Fragmentation, that's good. Birds, that's one that's very Uranian and Gemini. So I think there's a lot of, and I've been seeing a lot of weird bird stuff lately, I have to say, but I can talk about that later. We've just been having a lot of bird situations. Anyway, the bizarre, bombs,
Mm,
boycotts, broadcasting technology, which is also very Gemini, cramps, detachment, like you said, dethroning, disasters, discovery, diversification, divorce, disruption, electrocution, earthquakes, engineers, extremes, feminism. That's something I noticed looking back. There have been like important feminist things that have happened with
yes.
strong Uranus
Yes.
transits. Fanaticism, fireworks, homosexuality, hunchbacks. For some reason, they put those together. I'm picturing gay hunchbacks. Yeah. Oil. I'm like, do I have a hunch?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Psychology, psychologists, runaways, sparks, strikes, stunts, strangeness, trains, tyrants, uprisings, wires, x-rays.
You mentioned tyrants. I also have God complex.
Yeah.
There can be also omniscience.
Okay.
That's another thing. Oh, and you've already said this in different ways, but technology,
Yeah.
very future focused, progressive. Though
Yeah.
progressive definitely tie into a lot of the different things that you mentioned for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's see. What do we want to talk about next? Gemini things.
Gemini things.
Gemini things. In general, I think when one of the outer planets are in a sign, yes, Gemini things, but also just mercurial things.
Yes. So you mentioned restlessness for Uranus, which Gemini can be rather restless too. So
Yeah.
we're getting a double dose of that, though with Uranus not being as steady, right? It'll, something will hit you like eureka or whatever. It's fast. It's like lightning bolt. So it makes me think of there might be periods where during this time where there could be a lot of sudden kind of restlessness or even nervousness, anxiousness. Might feel like it comes out of fucking nowhere at times, which sounds stupid because there's a lot to be nervous or restless about that we know of right now. So I'm
That
thinking,
we
"Oh,
know of.
shit, if I'm saying that, the hell does that mean?"
Yeah.
But Gemini, it's thinking, it's communicating, it's learning, it's perceiving and perception, all of those kinds of things too.
Yeah. And I don't follow the modern rulerships. So therefore, I don't typically think about Uranus being in detriment or an exaltation. But I do know that at least in Taurus, in modern exaltation, it's in fall, right?
Yes, which I think we have seen illustrated.
Yeah. I saw Rick Levine said something recently that I thought was interesting that really made me think of this. He said, with Uranus and Taurus, the planet of change has been in a straitjacket.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah,
yeah, and also Taurus energy, they want stability and comfort and security. You're
right.
not none of those things, none of that. So it's like
None of that.
it's look at it, it's and the world went through a lot of upheaval during Uranus and Taurus, and we're trying to find some sort of stability, security, safety, comfort. And Uranus is
Yeah.
bouncing around in its straight jacket. you know?
Yeah, it's exactly right. That's a really good visual. Yeah, the straitjacket. Because Taurus is slow and doesn't like change.
No.
So it's when Uranus Taurus happened, it was a little bit, but these changes were met with a little bit more resistance.
Oh, yeah.
So comfort zones were being violated in the last 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because so like there was a dismantling of traditional systems of money, agriculture, and security. But these weren't things that we liked, right? Yes, crypto,
Yes.
while it was born during this time, there are people that are into crypto, but most people are like, oh, get this away from me, right?
Yeah, I don't even like, I'll be honest, I don't understand. I understand what it is in a broader sense, but I don't understand like the nuts and bolts. And to be quite honest, I don't care to. Pretty much.
Same, which is why I couldn't even think of the word crypto at first. I was like, wait, what is that thing that like is new, but people don't want anything to do with it? Oh, crypto.
What it is. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like an old person saying that or anything. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like being able to tangibly touch my cash if I want to, or my I don't know. I don't know.
These are just such unstable times. Like, why would we want something that only exists in the ether? It just
Oh
seems like
shit.
so not right. Just so untimely.
Yeah. No, I but yeah, this is very like, yeah, very Uranus and Taurus. Taurus also can signify money and things like resources, all of that as well.
Yeah, totally. So I feel like with Uranus and Taurus, there was a lot of resistance, and people were psyched or getting in line with a lot of the things that were proposed and created during Uranus and Taurus.
No, no, because yeah, no. And I think a lot of that does like didn't make people comfortable. People were not
Yeah.
comfortable with a lot of it and still perhaps aren't or like in the case of crypto with like you and me just not really giving a shit or not really
Like,
giving
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I'm like, you're mining what now? I've heard that. What are you mining? You're getting on it like what? Are we panning for gold? Are we
Yeah.
we doing?
Yeah. With Uranus in Gemini now, I think, and we're already seeing it, there's going to be an acceleration of change because there's been such resistance over the last 7 years that it's just going to be like, I
Gonna
think
go,
there is. What'd you say?
it's gonna go ham.
Yeah. All over the place. Yeah.
Do you want me to throw the dates out for it?
Let's look at the dates. What are the dates for?
Okay, so it entered Gemini for the first time, well, for the first time in so many years on July 7th of 2025. Then it moved back into Taurus on November 8th of 2025, where it was until April 25th of 2026. Then it's went into Gemini again, April 25th of 2026 through August 3rd of 2032. At that point, it will enter Cancer for the first time. Now, it will slip back into Gemini from December 12th of 2032 through May 22nd of 2033. And then after that point, it'll be in Cancer for 6-7 years. But the main attraction of this, April 25th of 2026 through August 3rd of 2032.
Yep. And it's already been popping off. I mean,
Yeah.
the day that Uranus went into Gemini was when shots fired. Yeah, the event. Shots fired. When
Third time.
Yeah, the third time. Yeah, for the assassination attempt on. Yeah, so that was almost like a signal that
Yeah.
like things are about to pop off, literally.
Yes. Seriously. It's Uranus and Gemini is like, I'm about to be here. I'm
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I think it helps to understand looking back at previous times that Uranus has been in Gemini. It helps to get a sense of the types of things we might see
Yes,
Okay.
because Uranus and Gemini is something that has been on my radar for years. Been I feel like I've been screaming into the void about this for years, since 2021. And it's, whoa, the party's actually here now. But we
Yeah.
have this planet. So, it was here in the US, in the US's natal chart, it's at 8 degrees and some change Gemini, Uranus is. So when Uranus enters Gemini, depending on what orb you use for a return, for a planet's return, we're about to enter our Uranus return, the US,
Yeah.
which is, yeah, a thing, a whole ass thing. But beyond that, just Uranus being in Gemini, World War II was the
Yeah.
time. Uh,
Yep.
the Civil War here in the US and then obviously the Revolutionary War. And I realize
Yep.
it's not just about the US, but it does correlate with US
It's
war.
very much, yeah, Uranus and Gemini is very much attached to US history, and it's tied to the bigger wars that we've been a part of, like you just listed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually a time of upheaval.
Yeah. Upheaval, but then also lots of technological advancements.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, lot.
Lots. Sometimes because of the war, things created that
Yeah. Yes.
advanced the need for something. So yeah, the last time Uranus was in Gemini, was between May 1942 and May 1949. A lot happened. You've got some of the things listed. We both do. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, going to World War II. So computers, the development wrapped in 1945. And then something with them in 1946. It might have been when they were actually announced or whatever. Perhaps I can't
Yeah,
remember that. But computers, which is very futuristic back then, right? The atom bomb,
the atom bomb.
the first successful detonation on July 16th of 1945. Jet engine developments. The microwave oven
Oh,
was invented in 1945.
wow.
And then also medical stuff like plasma donation,
Hmm.
which they, because of the war, right? Because of World War II, the flu shot also to keep people from flu outbreaks in war, and penicillin. Now, penicillin was discovered before then and used, but mass production of it started. Or Uranus and Gemini.
Yeah, the war was climaxing or at a peak when Uranus went into Gemini and then ended by the end, or not by the end. When did the war end? 1945. Yeah, the war ended in the middle. Women's Auxiliary Army Corps. So the United States established the Women's Auxiliary Army Corps, allowing women to serve in the non-combat military roles during the war, and also the first African American sailors admitted to the U.S. Navy. It was also the beginning of the Cold War, which feels very Gemini. Mm. And also the emergence of the modern geopolitical world order, which is interesting because we are also in the process of a new world order that is emerging.
Yes, we are. Which is things are getting arranged and rearranged, and we probably won't see how this actually lays out on the board until afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. So those were big things that happened the last time. Now, the time before that, it was March 1859 to March 1866.
Yes.
And the Civil War was between 1861 and 1865. So,
And also interesting with this one, we also currently have Neptune and Aries. We had Neptune and Aries then as well.
yeah.
So we've got, which is, it's,
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, the Civil War significations are really highlighted right now.
yes, they are. And, you know, I feel like even seeing this here in the US, we've been seeing this fracturing for a while. And now that it's in Gemini, it does make, I don't think it'll be like, if there was anything that came about, I don't think it would look like what it looked like last time.
Yeah.
We, but we all, the way I'm thinking about it, like being at each other's throats, on the internet, which actually does is what this looks like already. It's, oh shit, how much worse can that get? Yeah.
Yeah, no, all true. And during that time, significant technological advancements and social advancements happened during the Civil War era.
Yes. We saw the creation of the transatlantic telegraph.
Yeah.
It was completed. Now, it was completed once Uranus was in Cancer, but the period that it was being created was while Uranus was in Gemini. We saw the first color photograph in 1861. We saw, it was in early to mid 1860s. We saw 10 type photography take off. This one is interesting. U.S. Army Balloon Corps was set up during the Civil War in 1862. This was disbanded quickly. It went away real fast.
We're
But
talking about hot air balloons?
yes, and they were using it, I think, to send messages down to people, reconnaissance. S- I, but it was disbanded the same year. But it's the first time that we did any kind of aerial anything in war. And you mentioned stuff in the air, right? So this
Yeah.
is it's just interesting. When I read that, I was like, really? Now that's interesting.
I had never heard of that.
Yeah, the
Okay.
U.S. Army Balloon Corps. It's
Let's see, what other things? You said telegraphs, industrial warfare emerged, iron ships replaced wooden fleets.
yeah, the ironclad warship. This also feels very Neptune and Aries as well,
Yeah,
happening in tandem with Uranus and Gemini. It makes me wonder what kind of fucking shit we'll see this time around.
I know. Oh, Darwin transformed science.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Railroads
Yes.
reshaped logistics.
And that was huge. That
Huge.
huge because that's how that yes.
Yeah. Transportation, modern banking and centralized states expanded. Overall, it was the most transformative 7-year period in the 19th century. And I would say that one in the last century was one of the most transformative 7 years. We had a
Yeah.
lot of transformative years, though, that last century we had. But that's one of the top ones for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Something else, Israel was created, established. Today's the
1940
anniversary, actually, of the creation of Israel. And sorry, what were we going to say?
It was in 1948, right?
1948, May 14th, and almost immediately after was the quote unquote Arab Israel war. So I think it's really significant what's going on between Palestine and Israel.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah. Uranus in Gemini is very much tied to Israel.
It
Yeah.
it is Israel in Israel's chart is Mercury retrograde. Do you have it up?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Where'd it go? No, Mercury's not retrograde. Mercury's in Gemini, though.
Okay. Okay.
Here, let me share Israel's chart real quick.
For some
Okay.
reason, I thought it was retrograde. I don't know why I thought that, but so yeah, they also have Uranus and Gemini as well, just at 20. Oh, but their Mercury is conjunct the US's Uranus.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between Israel's chart and the United States, of course. And I think it's going to be very interesting when the nodes shift later
Oh,
this year, and the South Node is in Leo, hitting all that Leo stuff.
squaring their sun. Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, I could talk about this chart for a long time, but I'm not gonna. I don't wanna. Yeah, and also just it's so fitting that the creation of an ethno state that was controversial at the time has never not been controversial, because what was the saying back then was like, it was a people with no land, or a land with no people for a people with no land, which was the saying like, oh yeah, there's nobody here, we're gonna set up shop. No, there are people here.
Yeah. There were a lot of people there.
A lot of people there, which is the
Yeah.
reason why the Arab-Israel war was started pretty much immediately after Israel's creation. And so it's these ideologies are clashing, is the nicest way I can possibly put it.
Yeah, and with Uranus near the top of the chart, there's something that another thing, I don't think we said this controversy could totally be a
Yeah.
Uranus. It could, I don't know. That's
Yeah, controversy. This Sun North Node in the 8th house, it's like perseverance through hardships, and we are strong, and we're going to plant our farms here. And but then the South Node being conjunct Chiron, but we're always the victim
I was gonna say, and never really secure.
and never really secure.
Yeah, but yes.
Yeah, all of that.
And that those transiting nodes are about to square both of those.
Yeah,
Which, yeah, really makes me wonder what the fuck happens with that.
we're gonna find out. Uranus and Gemini. Okay, the future.
What we think might come about.
Yeah, let's cover the future, what we think is coming, based on everything we've talked about, based on things that have happened before. The famous saying, history doesn't repeat, it
Rhymes.
rhymes. Yes. So that's something we want to keep in mind. What are some of your thoughts about, we're seeing things already, like we talked about AI. Actually, we
God.
didn't talk about AI. We talked
Oh.
about crypto.
But AI, absolutely. And in a video that we did before, mentioning how AI may have found the free energy source or whatever.
Yeah.
Funny. It's really funny but shit like that, like I could totally see AI somebody just stumbling upon something from AI with using AI or whatever.
Yeah.
Not just one thing, probably like several things. That's, oh shit. This is
Right.
wrong or whatever.
And I wonder if it's going to be like, if everyone has AI at their fingertips, I'm sure that there are things that have been discovered already that they're hiding from us because it would change things too much, and we got to keep the poor people poor and the rich people rich.
Yes. Yeah. And any kind of technology that we're told about is probably like 20, 30, 40 fucking years.
Oh, yeah.
And they've already known about it that long.
Yeah.
We're just finding out about it now. It's all
Right.
so new. And they're like, oh, we've known about this for 20, 30, 40 years.
But what if somebody finds something on their own through AI? Not the guy, you know what I mean? And
Might
they
be a
don't.
dangerous thing.
So, in fact, that might be the only way that we're going to know. I don't know.
Probably some random person stumbles on something and then is, hey guys.
Yeah. And then they disappear.
Yeah. And then, yes, they disappear or yes, hopefully not. But yeah, I think
Hopefully
there'll be
not.
a lot of things like that come about. Probably weird shit. And even like in the case of the microwave, right? And in 1945, that's a huge, that's impact. So it might even not just be like warfare type of things or computer type of things, but it might literally be just like things that we use
Regularly.
today, regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother, she used the microwave like it was the last microwave on Earth for everything. And I'm like, that generation, when they discovered the microwave, they wanted to cook everything in that microwave.
Yeah. They're like, this shit is faster.
Yeah, like eggs and meat. Don't cook your meat in the
No.
microwave.
No. Ew. I also have some other ones written down. Where did I write? Oh, I have here all of the like detachment and liberation from all of the lies and manipulation. Okay, Gemini energy. I love Gemini energy, but Gemini energy, there can be a manipulative quality to it.
Totally.
There can be, we'll say, a storyteller quality on a more positive end, all the way to somebody who lies, or not somebody, but energy that might lie.
Yeah, or like purposefully tricking people.
Yes. Yes. I think both Gemini and Pisces can do this, but Pisces, I think, does it. It's not conscious when Pisces energy does this. Not usually. It's less conscious. Gemini, I think, tends to be more conscious of when just the energy in general. I'm not talking shit about Geminis or Pisces, but just in general, I think. And I think a lot of it has to do with the flexibility, with the adaptability, with the mercurialness of Gemini. So, the truth might change on a dime. It very well could.
Yeah.
But I do think that the detachment and liberation Uranus from lies, manipulation, that kind of shit, Gemini is something. And God, I hope that this is just an idea. I hope it goes that way.
Me too. Me too. Oh,
That
please.
that might be more hopeful, but that I should be, but it's yeah.
more independent thought,
Yes.
less believing everything that you see and hear.
Critical thinking. Yes. More
Yeah.
and it's not that people don't think. People are smart. Or sorry, people are smart, but like multiple people is kind of dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Still have too many people that are like, well, the president said it, that it must be true. Just because he's president, not completely ignoring the fact of who this man is and has
that he's
always
a buffoon.
been. Huh?
That he is a buffoon.
Yeah. There's still too much of that.
Yeah, and just yeah, these and this is another thing that we didn't talk about Uranus. Uranus can deal with it can be very group related.
Yeah.
And in Taurus, which is where it just was, there can be like wanting group safety, which there can be a lot of this is my group and this is your group. And we saw a lot of that.
We did. Yeah.
With Uranus and Taurus, not just here in the US, but a lot of places we saw it. And I'm hoping that in Gemini, I'm hoping that kind of way of thinking fucks off. Because what we desperately need, what we so desperately need, there are a lot of trains of thought that I don't agree with personally.
Yeah.
But we all have to be like, okay, I don't agree with you necessarily, but I'm not your enemy.
We have to be able to tell the difference, right? With the critical thinking, and it's not everything is black and white. There are very many shades.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Taurus energy and its desire for safety, right?
Yeah.
There can be a sort of black and white. I'm not ragging on it, but there is a safety in that. This is good. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is where I belong. I don't belong over here. And aligning with whatever kind of groups you feel safe in. Obviously, I'm not trying to advocate for anybody feeling unsafe or accepting anything that's not safe or not good. But there is this sort of black and white division that I do think we have to we it's just not going to get us anywhere.
There was a time when somebody would say something stupid and everyone was just like, they're an idiot. And we left it alone and we didn't give them a platform. But what happens now is that everybody we criticize, we give them a platform so we can dog them or whatever. We're giving them energy, right? We need to get back to just out of sight, out of mind. We're not giving you any power because that used to work.
It did used to work, and the out of sight, out of mind, that is very Gemini, right? You know, it gets fast, it gets bored easily, it moves on to things. It doesn't sit and linger on something, and yeah, there are a lot of people that they have a platform for being an asshole. Why are we don't pay attention to these people. And
Yeah.
if you don't like something, don't pay attention to it. Don't give it energy. Go serious. That's what I do. I'm like, if I don't like something, as long as it's not super, if it's just somebody that I don't agree with or whatever, I'm like,
I mean,
you know, like I'm
there
not
are
gonna,
things that are fireable, absolutely.
yeah.
But we've gotten so used to criticizing everything and everybody that we don't agree with, but which is fine to an extent. But again, we're giving these people power. So we're just constantly projecting negativity.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I could go on, but yeah, stop giving these people any air
Yeah.
and they will go away.
Yeah. Because they won't. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And start giving attention and air and start giving your attention to people that you think should have attention because you like them or whatever the case might be. Yeah.
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 It's in line with going online to say you don't like something. I'm like, who goes out of their way to be like, this sucks?
I do not understand people like that. I don't understand. So you took a minute out of and I know it's just a minute, but it's like you took a minute out of your day to tell me you don't like me. How fucking sad is that?
Yeah.
Damn, that's some sad shit.
Yeah. And there's a lot of it. And I feel like people don't do it as much. I think it's kind of the bots do that more than the people do. I think a lot of people have learned, but
that too, the bot thing, that goes
Yeah.
back to, like the AI. I think I've heard they like argue with each other. What the fuck are they? We've got robots arguing with each other. We got bots.
they learn from us.
Good. That speaks what you just said speaks.
Yeah.
They learn from us.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like that's something we're gonna have to contend with, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe people aren't going on in the comment section to shit on everybody as much as they used to, but the bots are because we used to do it. So we created Frankenstein, and which is
Created
also Uranus,
oh
very
god,
Frankenstein,
yes.
right?
Oh god, yes. It's alive.
It's alive. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're gonna have to
yeah.
learn how to contend with the bots and their negativity.
We just need to start being as positive as possible and maybe they'll catch on, right?
Yeah.
Or it'll mutate. Mutation's also a Uranus thing.
Yeah.
Or they'll mutate in some other direction.
Exactly.
I do think the AI thing, I think that if there are discoveries, people discovering things, but I think if there are issues with it, I think it's going to be something that we haven't really thought about yet.
Yes.
And
Very
it's
Uranus.
yes, and it's going to be like, ooh, not that nobody's thought about it, but the vast majority of people aren't focused on myself. It can, including myself into that. I'm probably having, but it's just something that is, well, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah. That's the thing with Uranus is that we talk about what we think might happen, but part of Uranus's whole shtick is things
It,
you didn't see coming.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Another thing that I think is important to note with Uranus and Taurus, by sign, it was squaring Pluto in Aquarius. And now by sign, it's trining Pluto in Aquarius. And so I feel like that also speaks to the ease with which these advancements will just happen.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like we have given over the reins at this point. The ball has already been set in motion.
Yeah, 100%.
Gemini energy can be anxious and nervous, right? Can be very stuck in its head, right? It's very heady. Gemini's very heady.
Yeah.
I think there is a lot. The world's kind of on edge, waiting with bated breath, sort of thing. Doing things to mental health, I think, is an important thing to take note of during this period of time. Making sure that your mental health is right and tight, or as right and tight as it possibly can be.
Yeah.
Say that I probably have a few screws loose, just as it is. But I think everybody trying to do that will help. Not watching yourself. There is a lot to be nervous about, but not trying not to stay there, right? Get out and touch grass. If you start and I don't mean that in a nasty way, but it's if you start feeling really nervous, you're reading about the shit going on in the world, put your fucking phone down and go touch grass. Go out to the
Yes.
woods. Get the fuck away from your devices, get the fuck away from the news, get the fuck away from all of that and go out in nature, go somewhere where you're not inundated with that shit because there is like an inundation of information.
Yeah.
And it can make you nervous or anxious or whatever. And that's not to say there's not stuff to be nervous about, but sitting and being nervous about stuff or being worried to just sit and think about that, it doesn't do you any good.
No, you're not helping anybody.
No, no, you're not. I'm not trying to dismiss people's feelings about that. I don't want that to come off dismissive as I say that in this episode, but
Yeah.
there is you have to take care of yourself too. And
Yeah. It's important to take care of yourself if you want to be able to take care of anybody else. Yeah. Go touch grass. I think that's going to be a super important thing. It's important already. We're already there,
yeah,
but getting off the phone and in the cycle of the emotional roller coaster that the phone and all the information can give you is not helping anybody's blood pressure. It's not helping your mental health.
mhm.
And as the world gets more insane and more intense, we need to be better about all the things you just said. And yeah,
Yeah, because and also Uranus and Gemini, a lot I mentioned information just a few minutes ago. There's a lot of information. I do feel like it's going to be a lot of information. Just throw and we're already seeing that. I think it's just going to intensify.
yeah,
And it's just what I've started doing is like there are certain times of the day that I'm not responding.
that's good.
I'm not like I'm sitting out here outside looking at my backyard or yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to do better about not keeping my phone on, especially if I'm working, if I'm at home all day. I don't need to take the phone with me in every room I move into. Maybe it just stays in one room. So
Yeah.
when I'm in that room, I can look at it. Otherwise, like,
Yeah.
there's other things that can be done. There's probably a book that needs to be read.
Yeah. And that also, you're not, there's a focus thing too with that. You read a book, even if it's a collection of short stories or poems, it's a book. There is like our focus sucks anymore. Like
Yeah.
we can't fucking focus for shit, which I think is why a lot of the information can feel so because you're getting thrown all this shit and it's just, oh my God, squirrel over here, possum over here, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, sitting down and reading a book or something that's more focused, I think could also be incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Nervous system, take care of your nervous system. Take care of your
And find a way to meditate. I know and I'm currently not I have not been meditating. I've gone through periods in my life where I get into meditating, and I have not, I'm the perfect example of someone who, like, I cannot clear. A lot of people think meditation is about clearing your mind. And that's not humanly possible,
no.
first of all. So, like, you're never going to succeed if you think that's how it works. But it's just about quietness and just being there with your thoughts and being able to not be inundated.
Yeah.
Like, just close your eyes, sit in one spot. You don't have to be laying. You don't have to, you can just sit in a chair. And
I'm just seeing where it goes,
yeah,
where it takes you. I find that because some people take me somewhere real weird and I'm like, whoa, why'd I go there? Like,
it's true. And there's that. And then also sometimes, like, when we're lost or we're looking for an answer and we're not sure what to do in our lives, like, these are the moments where the things come to us. Very Uranus, right?
the eureka moments.
The
So,
eureka moments when we're quiet, when we're paying attention to our surroundings, when or not in the phone and we're just like being present. And we're gonna need that. We need people to keep being people.
yeah, yes, absolutely. We do. We do.
So I think that's the number one lesson about all this is in Uranus and Gemini, try to stay a person.
Try to stay a person. Yes. Try to maintain your personhood, your humanity. Yeah.
Yeah. Ellie, it was awesome to have you on as always.
Having me.
Yeah. And so tell everybody what's going on with you, where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me at my website, saturnseason.com. I do readings, all kinds of stuff. You can also find me on YouTube at Saturn Season Astrology, Instagram at Saturn Season Astrology, on Reddit, on my subreddit, Let's Buck with Astrology. That's where I can be found.
Awesome. And you just did an amazing interview, actually your second interview with Stephen Forrest.
I did. He wanted to come back. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was awesome. He's making an album.
Yes, and yeah, he reached out a while back. He was like, "Hey, I've got an idea I would like to talk about this." I'm like, "You want to come and talk to me?" By all means.
Yeah.
Talk
Oh, I
about it.
love that.
But
Yeah,
yes,
that was a fun convo. So I advise everyone to check that out. I'll have all your stuff linked below.
thank you. Yeah, check out that interview. Check out his album. It's 10 Planets, 10 Songs. Yeah.
Oh, it's out already?
Yes, you can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Until next time.